Time to tie up Borchers. It's Thanksgiving. Thought we'd do something with turkey. Though this fly doesn't start out with turkey, starts out with moose body hair for the tail. I usually take 4 or 5 fibers and measure them to be just a little bit longer than the hook. Hook shank there. Tie them in. Make sure I like the way they're looking and come down. This is a traditional ensemble pattern, though like with a lot of things, the traditional had kind of fan hen wings and we made it a parachute because they're easier to see and they work so well. So, turkey tail right here. You can find these in our fly shop, lots of other fly shops, or if you live in the right area on the side of the road or through a friendly hunter. This one came through a friendly hunter. So there's a lot of different ways to do this step. This is the way I do it. It doesn't mean it's right. What I do is I'll clip off just a little bit of that weak stuff on the tips. I'll tie the tips in here. And then I will gently twist them around the thread like that and gently wrap. This creates a little bit of like a yarn, a turkey yarn. And I think it comes out pretty good and it is strong, resilient, and it has a little hint of segmentation, sorry. It's like midnight right now. So now I'm gonna clip it here. So you can see that nice mottled look you get with the body. Got one little piece here. There's something magic about it. You know, it's one of those things that you meet on the river and you try the fly and you say, well, this is just an automatic go-to. So the step I'm gonna do now is something that I think people should be doing on almost all their parachutes all the time, especially if they have problems with them tipping over, and that is to use a turkey flat for the post. So I've already kind of cleaned this one up and I've tied a couple flies, but to make it easy, you can see it's already, nature stacks it for you. I'm gonna pull out just shy of 1/2 inch and kind of hold them by the tips like that, and there it is, fairly even. Although I think having it super even really doesn't matter to the trout. I'm gonna measure it. So here I am, I'm what, 1/3 of the way back from the eye. I'm gonna measure it to be, say just a little bit past where my tails leave. Switch hands. I'm gonna clip a little bit, but not all of that. And there's a reason for it. Couple wraps there. I'm gonna bend it up. Oh, don't bend your tail. I'm gonna bend it up and go around the part I left and the part that was nicely stacked. This is gonna make a really durable base for our parachute. Now the Borchers has traditionally a mixed grizzly and brown hackle. You can also, if you want to keep it simple, you can tie it with medium dun. I failed to actually set out my hackle before I started tying. So basically this fly is going like all my other ones, just sort of a scattershot race to the finish. But just a brown hackle, and this is a size 14, 1180. It's actually an 1182, that's why the hook's silver, it's a Daiichi, but that's just because I had some laying around, and like a lot of things, I doubt it matters. So I'm just real quick here, sizing a feather. There we go, good enough. And a grizzly. This is a great, I don't know what to do in the evening fly in May, but it's really a 6-month out of the year. So basically, when the fish are rising and if there's mayflies around, if it's not something crazy like a hex, you're gonna be in good shape matching it with a Borchers. In fact, a lot of people say, couldn't you just fish in Adams? And I say, well, you could, but I don't think you'll catch as many fish. But if you just fish in Adams or a Borchers, well, then you'd be tilting the odds in your favor. So I've married the two feathers I'm gonna tie with. I flare it out like that, oops, clip, and then I clip right along the stems like that. And I tie them both in at the same time. This is just a time saver, that's it. Now I tie, the way I do parachutes is I tie them behind the post and wrap counterclockwise. I've switched that like a couple years ago. I used to do it the other way, and now this is the way I do it. It doesn't take much when you wrap two hackles at the same time, but I did start high and kind of work low, and then I'm gonna kind of wrap under. Gonna crank on it a bit. There we go. Steadied up that post a bit with that last wrap. And then I'll come in here, I'll just kind of trim that to shape. That fly will land right because turkey flat is so lightweight. It just wants to sit perfect. All right, we'll come in with the whip finish. Kind of work around some feathers there. Clip, clip. Give it the rotation. So what you want is a nice platform. So I'm going to drop a little bit of glue there, and that is a turkey flat Borchers.